Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Kataksha Kirana Chanda Naman Mohabdaye Nama Anantananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. Asmin Jaganmaye Ajnana Nidra Ujrumbita Ajnana Nidra Jrumbita Jaganmaye Dirghaswapne Ete Spuranti Vibramaha Spuranti Swarga Mokshadi. In the long, deep sleep created by the absence of self-knowledge, in that the idea or the notions of Surga, Naraga, and various other worlds of experiences, and finally release from that called moksha also. In this text, the author very, very clearly points out the Advaita nature of the reality uncompromisingly. Lakshmidhara Kavi, even though not very well known to the people, but a very highly advanced thinker, very close to the logic and explanation given by Vidyaranya Maharaj, who wrote the Panchadashi. Jirumbanam, the very word means expansion, opening up, or projection. Mano Vijrumbanam, the expansion of the mind. And very often, Gurudev, as well as many other masters, have simplified the Vedanta text. And from the simplified standpoint, moksha is a goal, moksha is a target or the lakshya, and the bondage is the present condition, because human beings can only understand a goal as different from oneself. I want to be rich, I want to be happy, I want to become famous, which only shows that presently I'm not rich, presently I'm not happy, presently I'm not presently I'm not happy, and all that. If you say, I want to be happy, that means you are not happy right now. I want to be rich, that means you are presently not rich. I want to be famous means no, nobody knows me. So the present condition is considered as contradictory to what you are
aiming for? Or present condition is something to be given up for me to reach another condition, another status. It is true for a sadhaka to have that kind of a desire. That is, it's a mumukshutvam, mokshasya ichcha. Moksho me bhuyadid ichcha. May I become free. May I become liberated. Now, a true Advaitin will no doubt accept such a predicament when it is presented in front of him by a student. A guru would accept that predicament only to slowly raise the awareness of the student that what you think you are presently going through, start questioning that, start inquiring into that. Why we do not inquire into the reality of this bondage? There are two or three reasons. Number one reason is everybody is in the same predicament. And so you never doubt it, whether it is true or not. It is similar to that of a scientific fact. When accepted by all, nobody questions it. Or an idea or a statement is made by everybody and consistently it has been made, and therefore there is minimum doubt about its reality. I am happy, I'm unhappy, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm limited, I'm sorrowful, I'm miserable. Everybody says this. Everybody goes through this. And everybody acknowledges it. When you say I'm happy, when I'm unhappy, I'm sorrowful, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm regretful. And somebody who's close to you would say, yes, it happens to everyone in this life. Everybody has to go through that. You have to bear it, etc. So when you say you have to bear it, you have to tolerate it, what does it mean? It means it's real. You have to face it. But an Advaitin who really understands the nature of reality as one without a second can never accept the fact that Brahman is miserable. Can the Brahman be miserable? Ananda Swarupa Atma. Either you have to accept that the Brahman becomes miserable even though he is Ananda Swarupa, or the very sorrow or the sadness, whatever I am going through, is temporary. Or this so-called sorrow and other things are elusive. It is not true. Now the first one is not possible. Why? Because Ananda Swarupa Paramatma, if you say it is subject to misery, subject to sorrow, then nobody would like moksha. Liberation is where there is no more sorrow. And if somebody says that after liberation also, you will go through sorrow, or you will have to experience sorrow, then, so why am I struggling then to become liberated then? So first and foremost, this understanding should be that Atma kadachit, na kadachit dukhi bhavati. At no time it can become miserable. All right. And if you say, yes, there is sorrow, there are such, sadness, temporarily is there. Let us look at that. Temporarily there. In whom? For whom? Establish the fact that Brahman is not miserable, is Ananda Rupa. Then who is miserable here? Then you have to account for something other than Brahman also, called mind. It is manaha, that mind become dukhi va sukhi va bhavet. Mind is subject to joys and sorrows. This is accepted in the sadhana marga. Now, when you take mind as an entity independent of Brahman, it is subject to joy and sorrow. Aap kaun ho? Who are you? Tvam manava brahmava. Yadi tvam manaha kadachit na kadachit brahma bhavitum shakyate. If you are mind, if you are the mind which is subject to joys and sorrows, then you can never become Brahman because you are manaha. Then Brahman is different. Yadi tvam na manaha, then tvam na sukhi na dukhi. If you are not the mind, then there is no joy or sorrow for you. If you are the mind, then you can never be liberated. Even temporarily you say I am joyful and sorrowful. Even the temporariness is a condition. Who goes through that condition, or who has that condition? Brahman does not have that condition. Then mind, then who are you? Even if you consider it as temporary, then the temporary experience you are going through belong to whom? Who is going through that? So that temporariness is also not true. Let's go to the third one, mithya. It is illusion. Now, when you say illusion, meaning a thing is misconceived or misunderstood as something else. जो है वो ऐसा ही मैं नहीं देखता हूं. What is there, I'm not seeing it as is, I'm seeing it differently. Here, in the case of a thing which is perceived by me, like a rope is seen by me as snake, that is possible because I have misunderstood the rope to become snake, be snake, and it is elusive, it is projected. That's called jrumbanam. That's why I'm coming to that point. Jrumbanam means projection. So the snake that I saw, I've been seeing, is a projection upon a rope which never became the snake. Similarly, Brahman is misunderstood to be a miserable individual. Now, if it is an objective perception and another person, then I can pretty much understand that's possible. But I myself, misunderstanding about me by myself. So the cause for that is what? Something outside. In the case of not able to see the rope as a rope and seeing the snake, is caused by poor light. But here, the pure consciousness, Brahman, which is Ananda Swarupa, misunderstanding myself to be a miserable entity, caused by what? Something else, somebody outside. Even somebody says that, oh, these bad thoughts are coming to my mind, Swamiji, caused by what? Caused by my neighbor. Even that is wrong. आपका जो वृत्ति है मन में, उसका कारण कोई और है? Can you just, therefore you blame somebody else for the thought that is there in your mind? And that is accepted norm in this world. That is the why problem is. This fellow created this thought to me, that fellow created this anger to me. We keep on blaming. Because we are not inquiring into the reality of it. Dirga swapne spuranti ete. In the deep ignorance of Atma Jnanam, Atma Jnana Mahanitra, Atma Ajnanam, Atma Ajnana Mahanitra Jrumbitesmin Jaganmaye. Dirga swapne spuranti ete. Swarga mokshati vipramaha. So the illusion which is there, which makes me misunderstand myself, can be overcome only when I bring correct understanding about myself within myself. And therefore, there are no two. Man or Brahman or Man or Atma, do cheez nahi hai. There are two things. One misunderstood is the other. Atman misunderstood is Man. At is gone, Man only remains. Atman mein in English, ATMAN. AT is disappeared. Only Man is there. Or hidden. AT is hidden. So it is not there are two entities. There are only one misunderstood as the other. As much as there are no two things called rope and the snake, rope is misunderstood as the snake. Similarly, Atman illusorily superimposed to behave like a mind. So there is total non-acceptance of the duality. There is nothing called other. So somebody would say, Swamiji, so much of explanation has been given. Then Maya has created this, the world, it has three gunas. Out of Rajas, Sattva, all the Antakaranas came. Out of Rajas came the Prana and the Karmendriyas. And out of the Tamas, this gross world and correct. All those things, objects of the world. This is to explain the present predicament we are going through. So the inert, so-called inert world, Jada, and the one which is not Jada. Not Jada means not inert, sentient. These are the two things that are there in the world, Jada and Ajada. Inert and sentient. But even that is wrong. So here we see verse number 19. Jada Jada Vibhagoyam Ajade Mayi Kalpitaha Vittibhage Same Chitre Chara Chara Vibhagavat Jada Jada Vibhagoyam Ajade Mayi Kalpitaha Vittibhage Same Chitre Chara Chara Vibhagavat. Ayam Vibhagaha, this division, Jada Ajada Vibhaga, inert and sentient, they are kalpitaha. They are, both are imagined. Where? Mayi, in me, in oneself, which is Ajade, which is not Jada. In me, both are imagined. What? That Vibhaga is imagined, not the division is imagined. Earth is one, countries are many. When you say earth, It includes all lands, even the waters, etc. So where is the question of North America, South America, Mexico, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Middle East? What are those divisions? So the earth would say, all these are all divisions created in me. I am one only. The land is the same, water is the same, space is the same, air is the same, fire is the same, oxygen is the same, birds are the same, plants are the same, sky is the same, sun is the same, moon is the same, rain is the same, seasons are same, snow is the same, mountains are. Now, where is the question of, this is Spain, that is America, this is Australia. Who created it? It is for our own strong seeking for identity. A culture, a community, a religion, region, all various divisions have been created by animals. Don't have that. Human beings have created division after division after division after division, based upon the color of the skin, based upon the language spoken, based on the faith that they have, based upon the political views. So many different ways we have been dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing. Haves and the have-nots, poor and the rich, developed and undeveloped. So many, and based upon, as I said, language, religion, region, culture. So many. All these vibhaga, divisions, are merely projected upon one homogeneous earth. Is it not? In the same way, Mai Ajade, in me the sentient pure awareness, Jada Ajada Vibhaga, the distinction between Jada, the inert, and the Ajada, the sentient, Kalpitaha. Imagine. And a beautiful example is given here as to explain that Vittibhage Same Chitre. Vittibhage, and the portion of Vitti means a wall. Vittibhage, a portion of the wall. On a wall, there is a beautiful picture has been painted. Same Chitre. In that very beautiful painting, there are so many things are there in that painting. Beautiful mountain is there, greenery is there, trees are there, plants are there, blue sky. And there are birds flying in the sky. There is a moon also. Then the running water. Then there are people sitting there, having a picnic there. Man, woman, and a dog, one dog also. Flowers, fruits, branches, grass. One vehicle standing there. And probably a dog is running. And the boy behind that, running behind that dog, playing. All this entire beautiful picture has been painted on a canvas or on a wall, and when you look at it, it's a beautiful scenery, no doubt. And in that scenery, some of them are so-called inert stones, mountains. Achara, not moving. Tree, which is not moving. Branches, which are not moving. Stones, grass, earth. And there is a boy who's running behind the ball, and the ball is moving, and the boy is moving, and therefore, achara, chara, achara. Vibhagavat. As though it is divided there. Is it not any part of the picture you touch? You touch the sky, you touch the tree, you touch the mountain, you touch the boy or the running dog. one same wall only you will find. The picture is beautiful, no doubt, very enchanting, very, very beautifully, realistically painted. But in and through all of them, there is only one thing that is there. A wall which has not taken any form. Because you painted the wall, on the wall a sky, the wall has not become the sky, or the wall has not become the tree, or the bird, or the flower, or the dog, or the boy. No, it does not become that, but it is the support. In the same way, Atman, the pure consciousness, has never changed its nature ever. As even so many different things are divided in that, the consciousness that is present in a short living moth, or an ant, or a bird, or a flower, or a fruit, or a leaf, or a tree, or a drop of water, is the same which is in you and which is in me. Ekameva advitiyam. That one alone, advitiyam, there is nothing else. If everything else that is other than Atman is mithya, is a projection. That is the standpoint of Advaita Vedanta. Jada jada vibagoyam ajade mayi kalpitah vittipage same chitre chara chara vibhagavat. Gurudev used to say that in a cloth where a very artistic person has embroidered beautiful, with the beautiful different colored threads on the cloth, he has embroidered a dining table in which so many people are sitting with fruits and vegetables and food, etc. So when you look at the cloth, in that where the embroidery has distinctly made this picture, true to, I mean, the artistic beauty is there and you enjoy it, but is it not true? The whole thing is nothing but thread, cotton thread. Other than that, is there anything else there? In the same way, both in the inert and the sentient, both in the moving and the unmoving, in all of them, akhanda mandalakaram vyaptam yena chara acharam. Yena vyaptam. Charam acharam cha yena vyaptam. Both the moving and the unmoving are all, both are by which it is pervaded. Akhanda mandala akaram, which is of the nature of undivided one whole presence. Tat padam, that very nature. Darshitam is shown. Yena, by whom? Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. To that teacher I salute. The teacher's job, or the teacher's responsibility, not a job, responsibility, is to lift the mind of the student from the quagmire of ignorance in which he or she is suffering due to self-created, inflicted confusions, because of which that person is only seeing only differences everywhere, divisions everywhere. मैं अलग हूं, वो अलग है. I am different and she is different, he is different. I am good, she is bad. She is educated, I am illiterate. That fellow is rich, I am poor. I know, he doesn't know. Whatever be the various visions that we create in our mind, understand their reality is transactional. And to that extent alone, one should give reality. Transactional, that's all, for the sake of interaction. But reality is no difference. Vittibhage same chitre chara chara vibhagavat jada jada vibhagoyam ajade mayi kalpitaha. Think about it. Now, many places we have also come across in Vedanta by the teachers. They say you should observe your mind. You should watch your mind. You should watch your thoughts. And if there are negative thoughts, replace with them with the positive ones. Reject those thoughts which are troubling, agitating, disturbing, negative. Substitute with the good thoughts. Take up to japa. Worship the Lord. Contemplate. Why all this? Unless you observe your own mind, which has different forms of thoughts, you will not know that you can be detached from the thoughts. At the present moment, we are not even aware that the thoughts are not me. Thoughts are me. If you go to a common man and you ask him, are you your thoughts? He will have no doubt about that. Yeah, I am my thoughts. I have this thought and therefore this thought is me. I have an angry thought, therefore I'm angry. I have an upset thought, therefore I'm upset. I'm a happy thought, therefore I'm happy. So what is the question of you asking that question? I mean, ask you doubting it. So there is no doubt in many people that, yeah, am I my thought? That doesn't come at all. So to detach and watch and discard the unwanted thoughts, one must take to the state of sakshi, a witness. It's a necessary part of sadhana. But when it comes to pure Advaita, say what sakshi you're talking about. Now you see, Chaityoparaga Rupa me Sakshitapi na tatviki Upalakshanameveyam Nistaranga Chidambudehe Chaityoparaga Rupa me Sakshitapi na tatviki Upalakshanameveyam Nistaranga Chidambudehe. That which is born of Chit, that which is born out of Chit is called Chaitya. Chaitya. Chitehe jataha Chaitya. Born out of Chit. Chit here to be understood as mind. Born out of my own mind. Chaitya uparaga rupa. Uparaga association. Upa close. Raga connection. Attachment. Uparoga rupa. Vrittaya. Me sakshita api. Sakshita means sakshi, status of being a sakshi, witnesshood. Api even my witnesshood. Na tatviki, it's not absolute, but it is assumed with reference to the thoughts arising in my mind. Chaityoparaga rupa me sakshitapi na tatviki. Tattva means real, essence. Tatviki means of the nature of absoluteness, reality, doubtlessness. So doubtlessness just means what? It is for sure, absolute, not relative. So absolute nature, in my absolute nature, there is no sakshitva. Because moment you say sakshi, then there are three things that are to happen. One who is watching, that which is being watched and the action of watching. In the form of knower, known, knowing. Jnata, jnaya, jnanam. Right? So, if you say, let us look at this. When I say I am watching my mind, who is watching what? I am watching my mind. So then I am who then? I'm not the mind then. Because if I'm watching the mind, I cannot be the mind. Because you cannot be the watcher and the watched also at the same time. The moment you say I am watching, then the object that you are watching is different from you. Drishta and drik. Drishta and drishya. Drishta and or drik and drishya. In this, drishta is drik. Drishta or the drik, the seer, and drishya, what is seen, are always different from each other. Then only it is possible. Swamiji, I'm doing self-observation. Even self-observation, you have to objectify it. Without objectification, observation is not possible. So if you say aham jnata, I am the knower or observer, then what is the one which is being observed? Mind, thoughts. Achha. Okay. If you're watching the thought, who are you? You cannot say I'm another thought. You are another thought. So one thought is watching another thought. Yes. Okay. If you are one of the thoughts, let us, where does the other thought exist? Where does the other thought which you are watching exist? What is the reality of that thought? What is the substratum of that thought? Or if you say, I am watching my thought, then you and the thought must simultaneously exist, correct? If thought A is there and thought B is watching thought A and B should be simultaneously existing. If you accept simultaneous existence of two thoughts, why should you stop at 2? It can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 10, it can be 100, it can be 1,000. So which one you are watching? No, Swamiji. No, I'm watching only one. So only one is present. Where? See, we must recognize this fact that a thought cannot exist without you become conscious of it. Without you being conscious of it, the thought, as I said, if there are 1,000 thoughts, and if you say I have 1,000 thoughts, which one you are watching right now? You cannot be watching, you will not be watching all the 1,000 at the same time. If you are watching only one, let us say, okay, Swamiji, no, there is only one thought. Okay. You are watching that one thought, correct? Yes. And you are conscious of that thought, right? Yes. Where does the thought exist? Is it outside you or inside you? Where is its location? What is it supported by? Now, if you say mind, which is full of thoughts, or mind as a thought, okay, and that thought exists independent of me, then there is something else called other than Atman present there. So you have to decide who you are, Atman or Anatman. If I say I am an Atman, which is non-existence, because Atman's nature is existence, then you don't exist to watch the existence. If you are existence, what is that then? That is non-existence. How will the existence will watch the non-existence? Because now it doesn't exist. Or non-existent can watch existence because it doesn't exist. To watch, you must exist. So the point here is that when we say watching your thought, it is only at the relative level. That's what here is saying. Sakshita api chaitya uparaga rupa. Uparaga rupa. A modification, apparent modification. It is like example that is given here is upalakshanameva ayam. The technical word that is upalakshanam. Upalakshanam means an assumption. Upalakshanam. Like what? Nistaranga chidambudehe eva yam. In the waveless ocean of consciousness, Nistaranga chid ambudehe. Ambudi, ocean. Chid ambudi, ocean of consciousness. Nistaranga. Taranga is wave. Nistaranga chidambudehe. In the waveless ocean of consciousness, the waves are witnessed. Just like in ocean, waves are seen. One independent of each other. One wave, big wave, small wave, etc. But even those waves which are small or big are none other than water only. The bigness and the smallness of the wave is not bigness and smallness of the water. Water is the same, whether it's big or small. Similarly, consciousness itself is in the relative level of our relative reality, appearing to be a thought. What is meant by thought? It is having some object of awareness. An object of awareness creates a temporary relative appearance of consciousness in a limited form. Appearance only. Just like when it is said that when I'm watching a flower, I become flower conscious. Meaning, consciousness has taken a flower form as though, and that flower form is what is called mind or vritti, thought. Yes, a vritti, a thought is none other than consciousness of a particular limited form. You cannot say consciousness is there independent of the thought, or thought is there independent of the consciousness. No, consciousness itself has taken the form of the flower in the same way as the water itself has taken the form of a wave. It's not wave plus water. No. Wave is water, water is wave. Then why you call it wave? Because of its limited appearance. In the same way, thought is limited appearance of consciousness. And the limited, that within quotes, limited is relative. So at all times, see, if somebody says, Swamiji, my guru has said, we have to abide in consciousness, absorb in consciousness. What does it mean? When you leave the object of thought, you are consciousness. When you have an object in your awareness, you are a thought. The thought, which is none other than consciousness aware of an object. Object need not be a physical thing. It can be a memory. It can be an emotion or a feeling, whatever it be. But if that object, whatever it be, is removed, your consciousness will be. So thought is not something else. It is consciousness itself. As much as the wave is not different from the water. What is the distance between the water and the wave? How much distance you have? It is as much distance between a pot and the mud, or the gold and the chain, or the cotton and the cloth. That much is the difference between Atman and thought. Nama Rupam. It has taken a particular form and name. So abidance in consciousness is not rejection of thoughts, rejection of object of awareness. When you start objectifying, thoughts arise. When you stop that objectification, when you do the objectification, I'm watching, when you say you're objectifying. I'm watching what? You are watching the object of consciousness. And that cannot exist without the consciousness. It is like I stand in front of the mirror and watching myself. What are you seeing? Me. Where? There. Why are you seeing there? I cannot see myself fully here, and therefore I'm seeing there. So that one which you are seeing in the mirror is no different from you. It is not mirror is creating that. Mirror is not creating it. Mirror has not produced your form. Your form is here, and the image is there. Similarly, a thought is a conditioned consciousness having a particular object which conditions it. As much as water is, wave is nothing but water, which has a particular formation because of which it appears limited. So sakshita api upalakshanameva, associated with the thoughts, it as though has become the watcher or the witness of that thought. Really speaking, there is no witness at all, because consciousness does not assume any particular such role. So, eka eva atma jnayatvena jnatritvena cha ubhayata bhavati chet na yugavat anamshatvat nahi niravayavasya yugapat jnaya jnatritva upapattehe. Eka eva atma, one being, oneself, jnayatvena as an object of thought, jnatritvena as a knower of the thought, cha ubhayata as put together as two, bhavati chet na, if you say that is possible, no. Why? Yugapat anamshatvat, because it is not part. They are not, it cannot be divided into two parts, one part watching the other part. Nahi niravayavasya, that which has no avayava, limbs, yugapat jnaya jnatritva upapattehe. There is no possibility of it dividing itself as knower and the known. That's why in Kenopanishad beautifully it is said, Anyateva tat viditat aviditat adi idi sushrama purvesham yenas tatvyacha chakshire. Anyadeva tat viditat aviditat. It is other than the known, other than the unknown. When it is known, it becomes limited. When you say unknown, then it's not available for your consciousness. It is not that. It is neither the known object, neither the unknown, the ignorance. So, anyadeva tat viditat aviditat adi, beyond. So, this is how one should understand. that Sakshitva is also only a limited way of understanding the nature of the self. All right. Continuing, he says, Amrudabdherna me jirni mrishadindira janmabhihi spatikardherna me ragaha swapna sandhya bravibramaihi Amrtabdherna me jirnihi mrishadindira janmabhihi spadigardherna me ragaha swapna sandhya bravibramaihi. Me amrutabde, amruta abde, me the one who is none other than the ocean of immortality, me na jirnihi, there is no old age or decay. Janmabhihi mrsha dindira. Mrsha is false. It has no reality. So mrsha dindira janmabhihi, from the rise of the false waves of illusion. Dindira, waves. Mrsha dindira, waves of illusion. Janmabhihi, janma onwards. Janma of the fall of the waves, how they are. See, if you have seen an ocean, how the waves are formed, you will understand. Slow, the mighty, huge ocean, deep and quiet, some disturbance somewhere in the middle of the ocean, caused by the wind, maybe. Then slowly that the disturbance picks up the momentum. From the middle of the ocean, it starts the momentum, and then associated with other similar disturbances, it picks up a momentum more, and slowly, it picks up the speed, and as it comes closer to the shore, it has taken such a huge form and comes and hits the shores. Again, go quietly. Again, there's a disturbance, and then again starts picking up. See, if you look at your mind also, how quiet when you are sleeping, nothing, no disturbance, no worries or no concerns, nothing. And then slowly it starts, as the alarm goes off. Oh, I have to get up now. Oh my God, I didn't finish that work. Oh, that my boss will shout at me if I don't do that. I told him that this morning I will do it. So started. Starts, and so many other things also. So I have to finish that also. This also. So I can take the children to the school also, and I have to do this and I have to do that. And so it's after some time you will find that the mind is filled with so many thoughts coming one after another and hitting the shores. In the same way as this ocean, which is creating that small little disturbances. So, me amrudabdehe, in me the immortal one, name jirni, there is no loss, there is no decay. Like what? Spadiga ardre me the one who is like the crystal mountain. Ardra means ardri. Ardra means Adri, you know that. Venkatadri. Venkatadri means the Lord Venkateshwara stays in the mountain, is called Venkatadri. Sheshadri. Adri means where Shesha stays, that mountain is called Sheshadri. So, Spatika Ardri means in me, the mountain of Spatika. Swapna Sandhya Abra Vibramaihi. You know, if you look at the Kailash mountain, which is so beautiful, covered with snow and look like a spatikam. But in the evening times, on a summer evening, when the clouds are creating a kind of an illusory colors there, because of which the sun's rays, setting sun's rays or rising sun's rays are are distributed, and they also fall upon the beautiful Spatika mountain, and because of the color of those, this Spatika mountain, which does not have any color at all, will look like colored. Name ragaha. Therefore, actually, there is no association at all. There cannot be any loss, discrepitude to me in the ocean of immortality from the rise of unreal waves. Nor can the false evening clouds color me, cause any attachment. I, the mountain of pure crystal consciousness. Abradi idi abraha. Mega or the cloud is that which carries, which initiates rain, water. That's what it's called abra. Abra vibramayi. The word is used. The illusions cast by the clouds. Swapna sandhya vibramayi. That's very weird. Swapna sandhya. It is unreal. Swapna, unreal, like a dream. Swapna sandhya, the evening clouds, which are unreal, which creating an illusion of colors on the crystal mountain and make it appear as colorful, which is not the true nature, because crystal by nature does not have any color. Or even if you take a crystal ball and put it on a blue cloth, it'll look blue, but it's not blue. In the same way, me, the pure consciousness, I do not have any birth or death or decay or growth or discrepitude, but it will appear as though in association with that which is temporary, or that which is not only temporary, it is illusion. Swamiji, all said and done, I'm getting old. You are not getting old. Your mind is getting tired, that's all. Physical body, of course, it will get old. Who said it won't? Physical body. But when I am looking at myself only as this physical body which is getting old, you get older faster than yes, you are. Some people are there young enough, but because they are, oh, I think my back is shaking. Oh, my, this is doing. When you keep thinking about only that, you will definitely get older faster. Gurudev, at the age of 70 or 75, I have seen him in close quarters. At that age also, he was 18 hours to 18 hours, 16 to 18 hours he would work. Tirelessly, enthusiastically, joyfully. And people ask, Swamiji, are you not feeling tired or old? What? Body is getting old, not the mind. Mind is always fresh. It is, after all, just thoughts. How can it get old? Body is old. So let it be. So we get so inspired by just statements of such masters, assuring and giving us that that correct thinking, invigorating our faith. Body is getting old, let it be. Mind is not. So it is true. The consciousness is never old. Purana, ancient. Kavim Puranam, Manushasitaram. It is ancient, most ancient. The most ancient self you and I are, never getting old. But without discovering that ageless Brahman, we get caught up in this whirlpool of change and feeling old, tired, exhausted. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.